Okay, hi, I wanted to do a quick example video for doing polynomial division. So here we're going to divide this thing by 5x minus 5. I intentionally chose a function that's a little bit higher in degree than most of the ones we've done in class, just to kind of get a longer look at the division, right? So there'd be sort of more steps involved. I'm going to do this both ways, long division and synthetic. If you want to see synthetic, just jump ahead a couple of minutes, or if you want to watch both, then go for it. Okay, so again, the idea is that we want to look at how the leading term of the divisor goes into the leading term of the dividend, or in other words, what would I need to multiply this by to match this exactly? So you can kind of think of that in two parts. First of all, the coefficient. To get from 5 to negative 10, and you need to multiply by negative 2. And then to get from x to the fourth, I need to multiply by x cubed. So negative 2x cubed would be the leading term of the quotient. Once we've figured out what that is, we multiply these. So we get to ignore the sort of trailing terms at first, but then we need to account for them at some point. So we multiply these, and I'm going to store that down here when I do the multiplication. Negative 2x cubed times 5x is negative 10x to the fourth, which again, by design, like matches that exactly, right? That was kind of the whole point. Negative 2x cubed times negative 5 is plus 10x cubed. And then we're going to subtract. Negative 10x to the fourth minus negative 10x to the fourth. So again, just be careful about distributing this negative. Those drop out. That's good. Again, that was by design. 10x cubed minus 10x cubed. That also happens to be 0, but that's kind of a happy little accident. If I can borrow from Bob Ross. That happened. That's not what we set out to do. It just kind of worked out that way, but that's great. That's going to make our life a little bit easier moving forward. Means we should have kind of one less piece to deal with. Then the rest of the way across, 15x squared minus 60x plus 47. Don't really need that, so we'll get it out of the way. That's one step of the division algorithm. So now we basically do it again, compare the leading term of the divisor to the leading term of what's left of the dividend. And then again, we want to match it exactly. So 5 into 15, 3 times, x into x squared, x times this times this, and copy it down here. So 3x times 5x is 15x squared, and 3x times 5, negative 5 is minus 15x. Subtract. Again, leading term drops off. That was, the whole idea. Negative 60 minus negative 15, so negative 60 plus 15 is negative 45, and then 47 minus 0. And then one more time, 5x goes into negative 45x negative 9 times. And when we multiply, we get minus 45x plus 45. And subtract. 47 minus 45 is 2. So this thing equals negative 2x cubed plus 3x minus 9 plus 2 over 5x minus 5. That's the remainder part. Okay, that's what it looks like by long division. You can, pause or whatever if you're still trying to copy stuff down, but I'm going to make some room. Here's what this looks like by synthetic. So for synthetic division, we just take the coefficients. So negative 10, x to the fourth, 10x cubed, 15x squared, negative 60x, and 47. Draw my little box thingy. Okay, now for synthetic division, we do have to make a little bit of a modification here. Synthetic division, the way it's designed, the way it sets up, is to divide by monic linear polynomials. So the leading coefficient on the thing we're dividing by needs to be 1 in order for synthetic division to work. Well, here we have 5x minus 5. But notice that I can rewrite 5x minus 5 as 5 times x minus 1. So I can factor that 5 out. The way I'm going to do this then is to do the division by x minus 1 and then come back to this later, right? So I'm going to divide by x minus 1. I'm doing it with synthetic, so I need the 0 that goes with that, which is 1 right here. Do the synthetic division like you normally would. So carry down, and then multiply these, and store it right there. So 1 times negative 10 is negative 10. And then always we're adding down the column. So 10 plus negative 10 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 15 plus 0 is 15. 1 times 15 is 15. Negative 60 plus 15 is negative 45. Times 1 is negative 45. And then 47 plus negative, sorry, I wrote 42 because I'm thinking about a step ahead. 47 plus negative 45 is 2. That's our remainder. The quotient here is negative 10x cubed plus 15x minus 45, and the remainder is 2. Okay, but hopefully we noticed something. This is not what we got a minute ago, and it's the same problem, so obviously we should get to the same answer. That's because we haven't divided by 5 yet. We've only divided by x minus 1. So to finish this, this is how I have to adapt synthetic division, because again, the way synthetic division is set up is to work with things like this. So I still need to divide by 5. So I take negative 10x cubed plus 15x minus 45. I divide everybody by 5, and I get negative 2x cubed plus 3x minus 9. Now those match, and we're good to go. So basically what we did is take this thing, just kind of ignore the 5 to start with, so that I can use synthetic division. But then again, we have to deal with the 5 at some point. I did that, as like a second sort of later step. If you wanted, you could do the dividing by 5 right off the bat. Just divide by 5 here. So this would be 2 and 2 and 3 and 12. This part gets a little bit messy then, because 5 doesn't go into 47. But then you would do the same thing and do synthetic division with 1, and you would get sort of directly to this. Okay, so I hope that helps. If you have questions about that, please let me know. Otherwise, I don't know how to end this sentence. Okay, bye.